at Downeast Creations here in Millbridge, Maine. We're located along the Bold Coast, very close to the U.S.-Canadian border. I hope you enjoy the video that I'm presenting today, and if you do, I'd appreciate it if you'd please subscribe. Like or dislike the video, please comment in the comment section and share it. I'd very much appreciate it. In this particular video, I'm building boxes. Yeah, I know, it's kind of boring. I mean, it's a box. Plywood boxes. They measure about 16 inches tall, about 16 inches deep, and about 24 inches wide. And I'm making about 12 of them. And the reason for that is every year a local nonprofit called the Women's Health Resource Library will have a number of items made, and then they go to the local professional artist, and each one will paint the item however they see fit, and then they return them. And every year towards the end of July, the summer celebration here in Millbridge, Maine, it's called Millbridge Days, they have an annual silent auction, and all of these items are on display and people can bid on them, and it helps raise funds for the Women's Health Resource Library. And so I usually volunteer my time to make whatever it is whatever's going to go to the artist. And 2 years ago they were folding Adirondack chairs, and that year I made about 16 of them. Last year was a 5-panel bench, so I made about 16 5-panel benches. And this year it was determined that these boxes were going to be made, and the boxes could be used for anything. It could be a child's toy box, or who knows. And that's not up to me. It's whoever buys it, they can figure out what they want to do with it. So that's what I'm doing. I'm making boxes. Now usually I draw up a set of plans and I offer them in a free PDF download. I didn't do that because it's a box, I mean, you can build a box whatever size you want, but I'm just showing you how I built these. There's a number of ways you can make boxes. In this case, I didn't want the edges of the plywood to show, so I used mitered corners on the box panels as they go together, so you don't see those plywood edges. And put a little bit of thin wood trim around the top so that hides the plywood edge on the top. So I'll be making 12 of those, and they're going to go out to all the area artists, and then we'll see how much money they could raise this year. Wish it was something a little bit more interesting, a little more challenging. Sorry about that. Oh, but by the way, I just want to mention that boxes are not as easy as you might think. And everything has to be perfect, and the reason for that is because they're rectangular, they're square, when you look at a box, if anything is off and you don't have it perfectly square and things don't fit perfectly, it sticks out like a sore thumb, and it's pretty obvious. So there's the challenge. So it takes a little bit longer than you might think to get it right. I'm using these Rockler corner clamps to put this box together and keep it square, but these clamps are so large I can't put them together. They're too far apart when they're touching for this the dimensions of this box. This box is just too small, so I can only do these two corners, glue them up at a time, and then I'll have to take these out and then glue up the other piece. So it's going to take a little extra time, it's a little more effort, I wish they made these just a little bit smaller. These are 8 inches each way. If they made them 6 inches each way, it would be perfect. It would work out just fine, but we'll just make do. And these clips will help hold everything in place, as well as the clamps down below, while I get my brad nailer. Didn't want to wait, so what I did is I took the other clamps and I just put them on the opposite side, upside down, so I could get this box put together. The glue is all set up now. I can take these things off. It's nice having these clamps because they do keep everything nice and square. It saves a lot of time, a lot of hassle. This is just 1/2-inch plywood, and so you really do have to have some sort of clamping system. It's so thin and can get squarely. So now I have to make a bottom for it, and the bottom is going to insert just inside it. Now a box on the surface, it seems to be very, very simple, but of course you have to get everything perfectly square, otherwise because it's so simple, it'll stick out like a sore thumb if anything is off and it's not perfectly square. So you really have to take your time, and it's actually more difficult. It takes longer to build a simple box than it does a lot of other projects that seem more complex. Alright, I'll just cut out a piece of plywood in the same manner that you've seen me cut out all the other pieces, and it'll just be inserted and I have a box.